So I know there's another week to February still, and I probably could fit another book or two in, but I am gonna call it a day this month and do my what I read in February. There's a lot, mainly book sets. So I read a total of 9 books in February. I think one of them was in January, but I'm gonna put it into February just so I can sort my pile of books out. So the first one, I'll keep it short and sweet because I don't like to have videos that drag on for like ages and ages, is Swift by R.J. Anderson. This is an old cover edition, so I think the covers have been redone because they're so shiny and pretty. This is basically a fairy story about fairies and how Ivy was excluded from the delve and she had to go and find her mother, and that the delve was being poisoned slowly, and that we had a bad guy in this book. And unfortunately she manages to find her sister and her mum, but she gets excluded from the delve and she's not allowed to go back. There is another 2 books to this. I have the second one but not the third, so I'm going to stop at the third. I I've had this since 2011, and oops, sorry. I've had this since 2011, and I've only recently just read it. It took me a while. I didn't really enjoy it. Fairies aren't really my cup of tea anymore, so for that reason, I'm going to let it go. Yeah, but the cover's really pretty, so I'm gonna give it that, a really pretty cover. I should probably put put these ones down. The next one is one I borrowed from the library for Christmas that I read on my channel, Petal ASMR, and this is Hello Kitty, The Christmas Tree, and The Christmas Show, and it's 2 books in one, and it has some pictures in it, and obviously it's Hello Kitty, what's not to love. So this book was mainly a story about friendship and how things go wrong in every one of Hello Kitty's books, and she's got her friendship club to figure it out. So with the Christmas tree, they didn't have a Christmas tree or it arrived damaged and they couldn't get one in time for Christmas, so they had to like make decorations for the school and put them up, and then they had to help with Santa's grotto because the path was snowed under, and to help everyone. And in the Christmas show, it was basically about how I think it was Fifi had injured her leg and she wasn't able to perform in the Christmas show, so Hello Kitty had to take the part. And that in the end, everything worked out. So these are really cute little reads, and I get them done in 3 videos, which is 2 chapters because there's 6 chapters in each book. So yeah, I get them done pretty quickly, but I still include them because I enjoy them. I like reading them, and in a way, even though I'm reading it to a video and it's on YouTube, I'm still reading them, so I still count them. So this one will be sent back to the library because obviously it's not my copies, so I'm borrowing it and it's well overdue back, so I'm going to send it back. The next one I have is a YA mystery. It's a YA mystery, I would say thriller, but I don't know. And this is Tell Me What Really Happened by this author, Chelsea, and I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm just going to show you. And this is basically a story where Bigfoot is mentioned a lot. They are on a camping trip in the woods, and one of them ends up dying, and they have to figure out what actually really happened. But this is told entirely through police interviews, so it's a really fast read. You can get through it really quickly. It took me about a week because I kind of didn't want to finish it. I did really enjoy it. And I remember first seeing this and I really, really wanted to get it, but the Waterstones were really rubbish at getting hold of new releases. So, and obviously people have been going around, especially girls, have been going missing around Salvation Creek. So here's all my tabs, my cats and Tweed. Just for the review, I do have an in-depth review on my channel, The Obsidian Nook, where I go into more detail about this book. But if you want something really short, told through police kind of interviews, then this is your book. And if you want a mystery book, But yeah, unfortunately, one of the characters died, and we find out what actually really happened. But it's based in the woods. It's got Bigfoot mentioned a lot. One of them's really paranoid about Bigfoot, and obviously there's a gun involved, and there's a creek. So if that sounds like your alley, that would totally be your book. Definitely going to keep this one for now. Just because I did like it. I don't know whether I'll hang on to it forever, but for now, in this video, I've decided that I'm going to add this to my keep pile, and may I add, it's in hardback as well. So I did spend a little bit of, oh sorry Dana, a little bit of money on it. So the next box set that I have, so these are all box sets. So this is the Bad Kitty box set with Kitty Gets a Bath, Happy Birthday Kitty, and versus Uncle Mary. So these are the covers, just to save me from getting them all out. This is basically like, I will bring one out. This is basically like a children's comic, but with a cat. And each story has its own individual story. I only have 3 of them, and I'm aware that there's more that have been done. But we have the author and his cat where he throws in jokes, which I think is really cool. There's factual, like Uncle Murray's fun facts about cats, why cats don't like being bathed in water, why cats don't like being left on their own, why cats get very, very moody and temperamental. So it's a really good book if your child wants to learn, or you want to learn more about cats. If you want a light read, it's a very nice read. Or if you love cats in general, this is the perfect book series for you. They are short and sweet. I read them in 3 hours, so in one sitting, the same with Life is Strange. And it's basically just fun little stories about Bad Kitty. She's really sassy. She reminds me of Tiny, of my little inn that I have. After Mum passed, I inherited her 3 cats. They're technically my brothers and my sisters, but her Bad Kitty reminds me a lot of Tiny Toots, where, because Tiny's really sassy and she doesn't like being like pulled about, or she does what she wants to do and she doesn't like being told no. So for that reason, I'm going to keep this box set, just because I absolutely love it. And if I have any children myself one day, I'd like to pass it down. But if you want little funny cute stories, then this is definitely for you. Cat related comic, short reads, plenty of jokes in there as well, because I didn't really laugh, but they made me smile. So, and it's just Bad Kitty like having a bath, and how she dreams of how the bath isn't really that bad, but obviously it's just a dream and a thought. And then Uncle Murray is babysitting Bad Kitty and Puppy, and obviously Bad Kitty is just Bad Kitty and stresses him out so much. And Happy Birthday Kitty is a story about where Kitty has a birthday and she gets presents, but she wants a cat scratch and post that she never gets. Okay, the next one is the Life is Strange comics that come in a beautiful box set, and obviously I'm keeping these. Like, I'm keeping these as well. There's only 2 books. I'm sending back to the library and letting go out of this pile. But this is books 1, 2, and 3 of Dust, Wave, and Strings. And the covers kind of look like that. I have done reviews on these as well, a more in-depth one as well. I will just mention these ones as well, which is 4, 5, and 6 of The Life is Strange, which is Partners in Time, Tracks, Coming Home, and Settle in Dust. And the covers are actually just here. This is a comic book series of the Life is Strange BAFTA award winning game, where we look at as Max sacrificed Arcadia Bay in order to save Chloe, and she gets stuck in a different timeline where Max gets stuck in a timeline with Chloe and Rachel, and obviously Rachel isn't alive in her original timeline. We have Tristan, and then we have the High Seas, and it's basically just about her getting back and little adventures. So yeah, I'm super happy I've got these and that these are part of my collection. I'm up to date with everything the Life is Strange comics, the games, and the books. They have absolutely beautiful artwork and beautiful pictures. So if you're a Life is Strange fan, these are a must. Like, you must have these as part of your collection. If you're a comic fan, then again, these will be perfect for you. But yeah, they're just cute little stories about how Max is trying to get back to her Chloe and her Chloe is in love. I will say these do have a lot of pride in them. So if you're part of the pride community, or you're someone who supports it, and there's a lot of like girl on girl relationships, boys on boys relationships, like, so these are again perfect for you. I have nothing against pride. I enjoy them. I enjoy pride myself. um but yeah, I think it's really sweet how Max and Chloe have that in her original timeline. They have that really sweet, like, loving relationship. But then in the timeline with Rachel, obviously it's Rachel and Chloe who are in love, and it's kind of really difficult for Max and Chloe. But Chloe is not Max's Chloe, if that makes sense, from the other timeline. So yeah, if you like time travel, pride, LB, and artwork and graphics, these are the perfect books for you. So that was my February wrap up of the month and everything I read in February. February was an impressive month. I had such a bad reading slump, but I managed to pick it up really well and read 9 books in total. So I'm quite proud of myself. And this is only my second video of the wrap ups. I've only ever done one in the whole time I've been on YouTube, which is really bad. But I struggle with memory and stuff, so I have to write all my notes down. And yeah, my memory and my brain fog is kind of getting a bit worse, if I'm honest. But I try my best with what I remember, and I try to include them. But if I stumble a lot, it generally comes down to my brain's trying to think what happened, and then it kind of forgets. But any support for this YouTube channel to make my dreams come true of booktuber. I do games now as well, because there's certain games I play. I also played the Life is Strange games as well, so if you want to see the gameplays, you can see the gameplays as well. And then obviously I did the individual book reviews on each comic, and I show you the graphics as well, or the pictures rather. So thank you ever so much.